Bang. We're live. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Mechecha want nina. Bienvenue. Si vous êtes ici, tu parles pas français, on va commencer à parler en anglais, okay? So for those of you who speak Twi, today we're going to go back and forth. Today we're going to have a very, very exclusive interview we're here with our Kofi Koranteng. We have our own uncle Ben Brako, a very prophetic singer actually. In fact, for the first time I listened to one lyrics which is playing, it's right staring in our face. Today we're going to talk about Ghana. We're going to talk about the way forward. Who do you see as your next president in Ghana? Yabeka Trin, so Onuya Waha Mestre se Ube Waso Sawaha for the first time. Mestre se Ube share video no na obi nsanka na wonso fato to platforms so you need to pay attention from now on. You need to pay attention from now on, okay? Because we were here back in the days when people came and sold us sicknesses and sold us so many things. Inti from a nekrono and ne minua waso na fefi weni ase na nya botre na se leaders ne ba na so mu kasa ti omu ye. We want Ghana to reflect us. Ghana is unique, but when you look at the street of Ghana, I don't see culture, I don't see our tradition. Something else is rolling in the country. So today we're going to talk about it. We have Odike is here as well. Brother Kennedy is here, and everybody else, please join us. Share the video, and we're going to start right now. If you have any questions, please reserve your question. Let your comments come in, and I will be reading it as we go along. Until Biara, a question Bia, please. For a question, offer to the comment side, and we'll be reading it to the panelists. Okay, everybody, welcome to Fahudie Hotspot Show. I'm going to start from Mr. Kofi Koranteng to introduce himself, his plans for Ghana, and then I will move on to Yem brother or Yem Papa Yem Wafa Odike. Odike became a star all of a sudden in Ghana. The first time I heard about Odike, it was a move he made. My young bondi, na yam fan changing mra. Oh, Ghana, yabu baby say yabo did the change mra. Oh, our like the sayings are even a procrastination. Like it's very, very procrastinating the things we say. But then when yabo did the Eddie shemra. And no any deeper. So yem brother Odike wa ha and yawo yem papa Ben Brako. Mr. Kofi Koranteng, welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Lady May, the one and only. We are thankful that you would have us come on your show today. And we hope that by the time you be now, we've been able to exceed your expectation. And thank you for letting us come into your show today.
Thank you. Papa Odike, we will introduce yourself now. ETF also.
Minu abane ahwefo yedo bibiase mosom focus Odike. I'm grateful say ne ye nyina ye bedwedwe o man Ghana. In actual fact, minu aba me started my political journey no way back 2012 election me contested. Inti Odike no and yet men share issue no, and ama Odike about lamplight no. Odike ventures so at the cotton Ghana when it comes to business. At least my team businessmen over 200 are they are in active business. Ghana, my big, they require bigger than myself. But and she when Uba Ghana had the it didn't know the kino, not only mention some but yes, started Jenny no a ye and from business, politics, and I acquire here. Yasemina Titia, Quia Ghana for Ebedi Nanyama Amagana, you will be baby. Now you to me entrance from Bim, emphasize your man and Moya Brano. Yanona appreciate movies no. Yentimin trap fence, me and your spectators. Wabra, yani pure tax. Tax a piano organ and a very repressive. Upo because
Ghana
yet prominent. Your tax net work, you know, and yet broad and yet wide. Until you will be a bread our Ghana when it comes to your kuta your debo ama o man according to kakra me can say Odike my what system no much ye and yeah and share some no kwa nipa do na ni ya make me jama minya ben so atwas
yo me that's it me bia it's here for the afefo ina your friend me Ben Brako me musician in fact me style me who as Ghana's favorite highlight musician, you know, and but basically, you know, I am a cultural activist. I believe, sir, in this world, you know, if you are not instilled in your culture, you are a lost person. And all you can do in this world is to copy other people, and other people are there trying to take from you. So when you copy them, it's like opening your safe to them, you know, and you lose everything. You are a float stamp. And that is my basic persona. And I'm here today. Thanks for your invite. But I have the word to say. The person, me who directional, you discussing directional. Say first one, Ghana local could do baby. Because they say I want and you cry. Thank you.
Very good, very good. For those of you Morefi and Papa Ben Brako, let me just remind you. Hey. Pana ele. That's right. Young Papa no Okasano. And Yumbia Miti Yenra. It is speaking to the youth of today. But then he sang this song in the 80s. So, Papa Ben Brako Akwaba, I'm very, very honored to have you on this platform because sometimes we don't really acknowledge our stars, our veterans, and then, you know, just like Ghana, our cocoa has turned into something else. Papa Kennedy Akwaba, ube introduce yourself now. ETF wants to know who you are.
Yo, Lady May, Midasi Ribe, Ene, Mr. Koranteng, Mr. Odike, Mr. Ben Brako, Midamasi, Ene, Lady May, Wahefo, ne, Watiefo, Kennedy J, Midini, Mensono, Ghana, Abrabontino, Ghana, Enyenitino, Mefa Form, Efa Libya, to say Mikasefri Germany. Me better hano me who say there's a two different friends quite me no Germany system and as a abrabo ewe Europe no unye free Ghana ultra border Burkina Faso Mali oba no who say na as a o twa ayi say watini ya menam editi no me beduru ha no me busa me ho de bia say adentina Ghana and as a ye ho no entimi ensesa editi no I say ebre yi no Mr. Koranten ne Mr. Odike ene anuanom nyina no ye be fa ye ho adwene na ehu say ufri Ghana eba no na otumi say Ghana catch eti edebe ntina western world no omo de omo ekọ omanim abre nyina na ye de ye kọ yachi eti ofre me a na say ai odokwa so me da ase.
Very, very good. Amanfo mesre Nuru Mami Thelma is it Doji Asanado? All of you, I can see over 30 people here. Please share the video. Me pesa asem ewe ne ko actually. Na say o recording recorded to because in Kofubi Babe we are going to talk about the things of Ghana. We are going to have a very critical conversation. We are going to have a very provocative conversation. We are going to have a very deep and insightful conversation. So please prepare yourself with your questions. Say unishi bisa not just say unhunia obe vote amano unhunia wope wo Ghana ho say what you say not just say we could have hoshi ni ho, but we have so many things in Ghana that we can become honest of it. So please share the video. Yeah, we are recorded to her. May I will ask young brother Kofi Koranteng. I've seen say he's inspired to become a president. I really want to ask him why. What do you see, Papa Koranteng? Again, now who Ghana? Say, you know, the water is packed with sharks. Why? How do you think you can survive in there? Can you tell me what inspired you?
Okay, so Lady May, it's simple. What has inspired me up until this point is Nyamiadum Yetukwain. Yatsna Bruchi Kakaya, Yatsna London, Yatsna America, Yetukwain, so many countries in the world. And yes, study world performers. One more performer at world-class level. People like Elon Musk, Alibaba, Warren Buffett, Sandy Wow, Keith Cunningham. These are people they are peak at their level. You know, the things they did in this world were incredible. Yokananda. Now, Yehu said, basically, you know, there are two laws that govern the earth. There are spiritual laws and there are physical laws. Now, yang over dependence on spiritual laws because of yang substandardness in thinking and the way we do things. No, and you know, ama yang by default, you know, yabe underperformers. Inti se won't sadie na sia. Eya o se bibi fufuro bi wo ho a eye magical. So, but what here no, what trained mind no. When him say ade no eye simple because everything that works or has a way of working no has a science towards it. And science na edema ade no ye adwuma na a definitive. It comes with the Brunibeka say mathematical exactitude. It was surgical precision. And untina Bruni tembia no or ye bibia unya result because or define parameters or they are dear no. No who say there is a science by which as I say adie ye juma. To apply variables now unya result no. Now if you don't have the mind, you know, you don't have the trained mind now. You look at the same problem now. We want to say a confusion. We want to say a cumbersome. We want to say as I said, we bump ye na we code in siniho no shewunum or shewunro and sana e be a dear watch me aye. And so no broni here or who say bibia ye the formula ne science ye no. Who train mind now? Who need to say puzzle? Bibia a puzzle no a solution. So, inti eno nwomo de aya ama womo a look superior because of their understanding of the science. And I'll give you an example. Yefa gravity, near weight, near deflections of air. Which we could jina build so and now could jina dia so ehuri besi form na bebubu kon besi form ubewu. Gravity now we a misunderstanding and I say a misuse of it, it can cause you death. Brony deep understanding of the same gravity and a drag, no wind, at the omo okriti aeroplane a 200-300 tons. And then we non-stop 11-10 hours edufi Dubai besi Ghana edufi New York ko Dubai Emma travel all over the world 24 hours on a plane a day because they have a deep understanding of the same science now wono by lack of understanding what misuse our results into the problem na enye say we bibini na mom the problem, the challenge, and they say going into a new stratosphere of thinking, a year of a deep understanding. And into that, they say your problems are simple because problem be layered. What level of thinking, consciousness, the layer in analyzing and solving the problems.
Okay.
So, it may be level of consciousness, no baby, I mean who problems. So me who say a single layer problems.
Okay.
And so you're paying for no because one more single layer thinking, any understanding, one more feel say Ghana no a problematic. Into the end to me solve a problem beyond.
Okay.
That inspires me. Aside from all the other things, this is what inspires me most. Say our problems are simple if we have the right leadership. And I want to bring to the youth what I did not get the chance to have when I was in Ghana. And what I saw as potential, me you bet me my youth, and until there, me serve me mind. I don't want to be a president. I want to serve my people by elevating their consciousness to a whole different plane of thought. So the yehu as problems, a very simple am I.
Okay, so I need you to you touched on so many things that Mr. Aji here investigation. You give us the topic. We have to now dissect it and translate it into real time. What will you do around these same things in terms of how people can think logically about things like an object apps, like when you learn in psychology, all these things that they tell you, not because it's not there doesn't mean exist, but then the reflection of it, they teaches you so many things in this part of the world to actually touch it, feel it, see it, smell it, all those things. What would you do in terms of addressing that issue? Be specific though, because issues around misconception, religion, you touched on it, then I would throw it to Yem Papa Odike. What you see, because sometimes we see things, but then for us to be able to show it to other people the way we see it on a national level, how do you think you can introduce this pattern of thought into the people, meaning the society of Ghanaians, to take ownership and not rely on, at the same time, being mindful and being sensitive to religious beliefs? How do you think you can do that if you become a president?
See, the first we need to understand is Nipa, so we were in a crisis, now we were in a need. The mind is wired differently. So, out of need, out of lack, the mind thinks differently. To be able to bring the mind to a level, it starts reasoning objectively and pragmatically, as I said, the basic needs, basic needs, good, basic needs, and they say ye to me take care of ye home baby I da ye to me ye juma ye income ye to me mineralize ye home well say no ye need some basic needs no inti out of lack no the mind is on a different plane inti want to me introduce a revolution of the intellect in the state of need ne lack he want to me enye juma.
That's right.
So into the first thing is to say, yeah, before we start this revolution, this paradigm of revolution, they say, as I said, the basic needs of Ghanaians, you to me provide them warm and the day, and they say, your mom made you need, and say, your mom for eduma, as I say, you to me create a constant flow of wealth. See, so we need wealth, we need access to income. Want to me and make decisions to be a basic quality of life, QOL, quality of life. Want to me, inti onipano ewo efamano. Want to me introduce be or no said ya wokan or no interpreted as a need and a pressure. I want a life more.
Yeah.
Inti but as president, not number one. Will bring about an abundance of all the basic needs and nipa here.
Thank you.
Nipa benye aduane di enya nsuo anom akwa adwuma eye saa na emema no kra nya worth in themselves so say hey say dey me be ma osika da me kotokuo watumi ayi bi ama ne yire ana ne girlfriend ana ne nua ba ana ne maame eno no ne ma be ma no ye be ma no watumi oba no so atumi aye oba so hey, but you can't start talking about these things because they are so esoteric in people's minds. Say, now, are you correct? They're not okay. They're okay. They say it doesn't. Because you need a basic level near. Okay. Let's talk about say how do we bring food to the table? How do we build wealth? Say the to me and making decisions. You say this current government, the governments of the past, they've always talked about yabema way free, insuba yabema free, yabema vaccines free, BBI free. So yes, you build an entitlement mindset in the people.
Independence.
It doesn't allow for the people to be proactive and self-strengthening.
Yeah.
Into what you do and say you create an environment for them to make decisions for themselves. To say a bit me elevate to one more thinking, one more bay and your mama one more.
Yeah.
Inti say lady May see it to me agriculture, which I believe should be our first order. And you say you CE blocks, and you say yeah circle Dubai, and you say yeah build the airport and yeah interchanges there be because some your many liabilities. You don't build wealth by creating liability.
That's right. Okay.
You build wealth by creating assets. Into what are the assets? Assets you be a generating income for sustainability. So, into what are we going to do? We're going to put all the monies we have available to us, into getting an output from agriculture. Now, I didn't think agriculture because arable lands are what Ghana no. We have sunlight. We have 24-hour sunlight. When I say 24-hour, there be a sunlight back. More than an abundant share of issue. The soil is good. Into all we need to do is cultivate it. UAE next month one more harvesting wheat. Tonnage of wheat or one more harvesting, it's mind blowing. From arid land, I harvesting wheat, Now, what arable lands are to me corn crying to me, and it's disgraceful. Leadership has failed. Into the proposal, they say, Lady May, we're going to put everything we have now into agriculture, get an output from agriculture. When we get the output from agriculture now, we add value to it. For example, we do a syndication loan of $3 billion on average every year. If we were to add a national standard average, international standard average to value adding times 10, what the times 5, into $3 billion now, times 5, which is 15 billion. Isn't it ridiculous and ironic? Said, yeah, well, IMF for 3 billion when we could have just added value to cocoa to get 15 billion just on cocoa alone. That's if we added value of a 5-factor. Don't even talk about 10-factor, because 10-factor I know will bring 3 billion to 30 billion. Can you imagine? On cocoa, wow, but the entire minimum said, we'll call all the Arab nations, we'll call Switzerland, we'll call Brussels, chocolate to Bono, now to compare Ghana chocolate to Bono, you did tone beans now. The factor is over 20. Is it sickening to know that your leaders now have sold your cocoa beans to all these foreign markets, for pittance? That's upsetting. And then we go to IMF to beg for money. Cluelessness, unpreparedness. What we are saying is that you put the value in agriculture, get an output. With what we get from agriculture, we add value, we export. When we export now, we get foreign exchange reserves. The one of the 4 factors that has caused us to go to IMF for 16 times, has been foreign exchange reserves. We could get foreign exchange reserves by exporting when we add value to agro-based produce. And then with the foreign exchange reserves, number one, we put some in reserves and we pay down our debt. Because you know what, Lady May, regardless of how big we build the country, if we don't pay down our debts now, the person who holds the first order to our debts can come and claim it, and they will take our sovereignty as a country. Because one more collateralize it loan. So we need to bring down a $575 billion of debt, as quickly as possible. We need to bring it down to manageable levels, because they do baby because you default. And when China they want more come more than anybody else. One more for Ghana, they're not going to sign anything less than 100 years. That's been China's strategy all over the world. Ghana is going to be on for the next 100 years, and we cannot afford that for that to happen. The first order of business is get agro going, add value to our produce and export it so that we could get foreign exchange reserves, pay down our debt, and at the same time, expand our horizontal expansion. Horizontal integrated horizontal expansion, means that we will build factories, any industry horizontally, to say electronics, medical equipment, manufacturing. Many now will go into effect, and that will absorb the high unemployment of our youth.
Very good.
And that income will start coming into circulation, because without that circulation, we will not get the economic combustion to absorb the 575 billion cedis of debt. That's how we have to go.
Very good, very good. Young Papa Odike, Kofi Koranteng was just telling us. I asked the question, what inspired him, what he has in stock for Ghanaians. In terms of course, he spoke about the fact that Ghanaians seems to be a bit dependent. Like every obia per se, nyankopon ye bribi nyameno almost separating from people. So it becomes a bit difficult. So I asked the question about how do you now translate what you're thinking as a Kofi Koranteng? How do you translate it into the people? How do you empower them and amplify them to advocate for themselves, and as well as, just take ownership so they can see themselves as Ghanaians? That is where he is. Also being mindful about their religious beliefs, and also because religion is part of human being. That's where he is. Papa Odike, tell us, Ghana uhu ne saying na uhu ewo Ghana se say, and in nia usha yebeya afa when it comes to nia eye problematic ewo Ghana se say ya. Kofi was talking about something how unibrofo no use you no Kofi ya no come down kakra why.
Lady May.
I know what translating into tree, because Yeah, no sinipi, and only a problem no be a baby and casano. Me person ko 40 as yene. Because you're paying for no, is it, do you see them as not knowing, or it is deliberate and also when, and then I'll move on to Papa Ben Brako. No, so I can you who Ghana. How are you betting me move past this hurdles, the problems we face, the initial thing, the immediately. What is the help do you think, say Ghana for here, and where do we get them as we move forward? Papa Odike.
Yo, for any other form. We shall be biara Emma Makwaba Eba and Yen Kita Mudia Yenimudi say Ghana Yebedia a free a huntre any Kodana you me Jemmy when say Ebra Ghana ye independent a political independent if you are from Semno a Yomoya because Abofuno Eba African be colonize Africa no. The entire umbedi so ye economic fortunes. Say umbesi say nema kumku. That's the more reason why Abrofono missionaries umuba no mkuta Bible. But nipa krona umde Bible be chain. Say ya mamre ni ya manye ni nye papa. No mu de na ye no. Umusa fa ye nkwa efa ye nuhu. Esesa ye japade dodo na ba umukrum. It is already more Africa and Ghana. Your problem no if it number 4 now. Yedi kano yaje political independent. Yaji no economic independent na eno kra ene dimu kase no. Just say yaje sa aspect na to. Ena abrofo no a omudi eso omunye omunko omukrom. Omumom ne sen ekokwaje adwenkyere ene hyehyɛ a yedi bebu yaman ede so oba wote aware ase na usu ukunu no ondimenhwew ena wagya aware ekɔ wuhia da bia ase efie nya na mamska efie nya me ho kyere me na je sɛ wankasa na wugu woni mu ase abofo na yoma do sɛ economic freedom omuma African nya because Africa we are endowed with all the mineral resources, any raw materials, feed the industries, any technology, it will be as. It's about a free, economic, political independence. And almost started some by year 1966 school, a qua America for an century. Emma Muya, free farm, a year, busy and mobile, Sabine. Economic dictatorship na ne wa abrofunu so obekaya ebra busy anu eba office pe eka beda so after nkroma eka beda Ghana so ema ka so mu ye CD devaluation edidi mu na kutu champon bufu ya na kana ye kese said de ewe enu mu ye ku champon ba no se ye ntua eka fo didi ono mo preso a champon be ye dem bebre a na enye bosi asem the American say democracy a template democracy in Africa you say abrofo epeso mu kira ye say eno ne the best form of governance no democracy a template that's our template no European couldn't say we practicing the democracy but unfortunately for us ye very for no so we India omo any na British colony but India for edi fa wodi no omo kasa no mo di sua de omo amfa Britain ne ma bebre amo omo bra edi ama en India no me no kasa omo ye omo advance so much in terms of technology and economy ni bibia yen so abofo ma etiase say British and American constitution and omo system of governance no see ye blend nya hybrid yano na yemfa nya adwuma wo Ghana na sa 1992 constitution no eho pa ni Ghana ya hwe ase me my government was school akra my leadership akra and my side business akra me nua ba powers ye diama executive arm of government our your constitution we no ano denedo ni nyina ya brofo no hyehyeye omo akraft democracy I did to me man the central government. Now Bofuna is backseat driver. It's a Bofuna operating through the government, you know. I know more this is economic freedom, no. I have conduit a free Abrofuna and president. Presidents were appointing about 5,000 into various positions. If you issue weak system, no, I will just say, why am I saying this? Ebra is just Anglo Gold Ashanti go first. Now Ghana was 45% shares. Sabe na I care champion na idio man. And now I see a good democracy. Democracy is to change our circumstances for better. Democracy they are the nipa ko yediem. But say you free 1992 be ya Ghana you retrogress good governance yare institutions are weak economy are weak. Even our environment protection, it has been invaded by galamseyers. All these things are now, the propaganda, and my African leaders say, this is the best way, the best form of governance. America, America, our tribes in your American money tribes for America and you it is a who could you be suya and they will say and say the music a boy bra you cannot get the results. Volunteers say America for practicing democracy 200 years ago. It is I go through the mills of democratic stages. And I do my baby. And you know, credit. A importation of a system, any assetna, a boy, bra. We don't know how to practice this democracy. So the dividends are, I was a democracy, China, and maybe a term, a communist, or who say a young China system, and no more advance, you know. And yet, beyond America, Germany, they are different. Canada, they are different. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Arab Springs, are different. But don't get the results. It is all you giving them amount of results. You have to take stock of baby web grown. Now, let's say democracy, dividends, even rule of law, selective justice. The gap between the half and the half not keeps widening. Equity in national cake, you know, it's not there.
No.
BPR disparities, even wage disparities. Ghana will be the bare 400,000 a month, which is 4 billion. Now will be the 2,000. And Yaman Inaya Basa and democracy is good for Ghana, but partisan democracy is not good for Ghana and Africa as a continent. Yani, Africa, your problems are very synonymous. So, Ghana here, unification. Ghana, we don't need geopolitical system of America. Say, Omaya Yachino, Yantia Simuno. A debate now say, we could not find we could not find. Now, Yapidare na no, I take and trend position. Some day, the MPP near higher than the Gina. Where's me and this higher than the Gina? But what America? Geopolitical at a point, the national interest, a Bewam Emma, there's a consensus, a woman. And in our diversification, Ghana as a Afrocentric nation, you know. Yet, I give you the Chayamuno, and my intimate as a nation. It's made the union government. The union government, or many they take a decision. You man command of war. And by merit, pragmatism, and honesty. Sademam send a bit my drive Ghana. Now, NDC MPP politics, a divided front. And we cannot divide, we cannot achieve any development with a divided front. It's about from Shetre, you have a toba, NDC Benufoba, which have a discover from MPP Benufoba, which have a discover from you have toba anywhere. What about formal government? No party form kind of formal government. Mukwana mu take decision ma o man obi kwa onyansa bi no ode ba e so nkan ho eti fa onyansa ne tena dem na borofo no yusu wo mu as conduit agreement we na mo nsama e anglo go kura no munitions na wasign because aborofo na ma manage no oil ne benya yes Ghana mo dey 10% aborofo fa 90 no mo dey kro no na ma koma political leaders ni bi back door. We are building Ghana on a weak foundation. It promises how would the baby be and whoever fly until say you better as people. You craft a system of governance. You need under 1992 constitution. May the minimum governance I want to say the free be separation of powers. The three arms of government, Obia and Eduma independently.
That's right.
The free big checks and balances. We check away, now we are check away, now we are check away. Now we're not dead, the JJ one some say. Some fact, they share a constitution, say the executive arm needs to be by parliament. Every ministers, a free parliament. And no more Yaduma. What it means is that president has control over parliament. We are not going to President Betma appointed Chief Justice. Justice is on the promo to President will capture the state at the bottom. But this year we are now from society. I know more micromanaging. Through them. It's agreement to Master Sandu Guanara. It is loose win for Ghana. And we need a package, a whole package, the system of governance, and yet Obi MP, Otria bribe, and among the constituents, Obi Trump parliamentar, or any party of Duma, any the interest of one Casa Bottom, and the parliamentarians. Parliament is the most corrupt institution in Ghana. Uko judiciary corruption. I said the president has absolute power to control all the three arms of government. And power corrupts. Yeah. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Until say, you better cheat. Now, from my bus driver, IMF, women actually around the country because we don't have the capacity, the capability. If you requirement command or than black man is managing, is capable of managing his own affairs. Ghana Obama rulers, constitution, the architectural structure of our constitution. You not to Obama will be Lord on itself over the people, but the sovereignty of this country must lie in the hands of the Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians. Yes, yes. Suggestion you the both MPP and NDC. Umeka to say, yeah, form your government. And I created a friend corrupt followers and corrupt leaders. Yes. You can't corrupt followers. And perform we say MPP for MPP bar. They don't have what it takes to develop the country. But obeying the interest and our we are using our emotions. A common sense approach to issues in the country, not a but your constitution. When you have a constitution, a minima or manful, a constitution and not order everybody mindset and everybody steps. It is a constitution when constitution is promulgated on a weak premises. And if I want a weak institutions, a wicked parliament mindset. They can't think
Yeah.
Ghana vote me and president on because the external forces are remote micromanaging no and money to all that they think and say you better win election near demotion, you better win election near demotion. But are democracy benefits, dividends, our democracy, the brain mind say, a two years, at the payaba, at the attention neighbor, and mobilize resources for national development, and Mamuya self-reliance. Sanyama way in infinity, lazy man's approach, Abrofrashada, a mobile Baman Bosia, what you Bosiana, now Bosiana Menam. The moment I was on the now my boy room, near Cato said, Wajapa deaway, any inquiry agreement say, Wajapa deaway, and the dear man who want your China. You bet me the develop poor mine. Nina could be above and all the corporate entities, businesses, Nina is in the hands of foreigners. Now, how can you develop your country with foreign intrusion? Omoba, Omusika, Nomodeba, Umgetrino. And I'm saying, yes, short-minded, you know. Omudiskai Babi Roma, yes, you're not foreign direct investment. They come with their money to only expand the economy, but the money doesn't stay in your country to develop the nation.
That's right.
They repatriate it with their profit time to their respective countries. But in Ghana, we need to change our system of governance. And why we need to change our constitution now yet to suit our environment, our culture, our tradition, and our upbringing. Other than that, you know, many about you could find your sister came in our bread and you could find Pope John Paul ever try Ghana Kunyaso. The beer with the
best son. May God bless you. Nyamin Shirao. Papa Odike wakasa. In Papa Ben Brako, wa unim yem papa oba beka say ya. Ya na me pa kai. Minu anu munche video no. And let me say, wa recording that and I say recording yamano. We know a lot as Ghanaians. Yem Papa Kofi Koranteng kasa he knows a lot. Everybody has the right things to say. Odike kasa a lot. Wa recording bibi dano after this show. Go back, record it, Fatuwa, because we are going to change Ghana. In order for you to change something, you need to take charge. You need to know your constitution. You need to know what's inside the constitution. You need to know what benefits you get. Ghana doesn't own anybody, but we behave ourselves as Ghana the yanka. Okotene kujano so anache say ni ya warning ni nyama ye de no so kwako even do, and a hurtful person hurt people. Yan Papa Ben Brako, before you start, let me remind people who you are. We have a lot of men in our country. We have the men. We need the women. MPP for Murifi. Mpacho Mokai, Papa Ben Brako, there has been so many things said. What do you see for Ghana based on what Kofi Koranteng and Odike said, and then I'll move on to Yem Papa Ken. What is the way forward for Ghana for?
Thank you, Vidasi. I must say, I'm very impressed with the speeches that Kofi Koranteng, but even more especially Odike has given, because I think Odike has touched on the basic issues. And they say, we are Ghanaians, but we are not ruled by people who are Ghanaian cultured. You understand? The educational system has ensured, when we go to school, we do not learn our culture. Now, illiteracy is defined as one who is not tutored in their culture. It's not about English. Now, there are so many things going so wrong. We name say, war. Now, how do we resolve this? I think Odike has touched on so many of the aspects because it is a human issue. You see, the Constitution is totally wrong. That 1992 Constitution, it is an abomination. It is one of our biggest problems. Sometimes we can't even blame the corrupt politicians because you have cooked the thing for them and say, come and take. They have all the power. They control the judiciary, like Odike said. They control everything. They control the army, So how can you, there are no independent institutions. Ghana, like I said, even the chieftaincy, which in England, they have the House of Lords, which acts as a checks and balance on MPs. We don't have that. Even the MPship, it is bogus. Why? Because anybody from anywhere, so long as they have some tiny association with the area, can come with money and then become an MP when they don't even understand the issues of the locality. And you see, it is such a pity. Why? Because we have a rich culture that is actually much more democratic than this so-called 4-year nonsense here. You vote somebody in, and then for 4 years you can't do anything. They control everything, But we have a system. It starts from a Bushia, and then goes to Odike, and then goes to the sub-chief before the big chief. So each one is empowered. The power is from the ground up. And see, all decisions can actually reflect what the people feel and what they think in their mind. Just say Obi Batsam from up and then tells you what to do and do everything. This partisan politics, it's completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Okay. Let me ask a specific question. You being a veteran, you've been singing since whenever. Odike says something about Constitution is good. Kwame Nkrumah said something before he died. He said that black man is capable of taking care of his own affair or
yes.
And when you go to America, Martin Luther King Jr. also said the same thing, that a time will come. I have a dream. Martin Luther King's dream is alive today because we've seen so much progress, so many black people fighting the system, and they have a long way to go, but yet there's been a lot of fight and there's been, of course, resistance. You being a veteran, Ghana has no respect, and you've all touched on culture. Ghana has no respect for history, Kwame Nkrumah's structure. We don't celebrate our own. Why do you think, say, you're a musician, what is Ghana to you? What is your perspective when you talk about Kwame Nkrumah's legacy was not kept? Library, even Akufo-Addo came and trying to do away or take away the only day celebrated by Ghanaians, the Founders' Day, and trying to change it. What do you see as the problem, the foundation of that problem? Not yet.
The biggest problem we have is that Ghana itself, it's not an entity that Ghanaians created. It is a foreign entity that was devised somewhere in Europe. You will find this democracy, so-called democracy they're talking about, in every African country, there is strife and tribal issues. There are two major tribes, and all these political parties are actually tribal-based or ethnic-based. And it's rather causing more ethnic strife than, look at Nigeria, there's a Biafra issue. Ghana, you have Togo, you have Burkina Faso, you have Ivory Coast, which, our ethnic groups actually transcend the borders. So it is a very artificial entity, and trying to keep it together is not easy. But we have lived together, as ethnic groups, and we have developed great civilizations, which we seem to have forgotten about because the education, we receive. We praise the British and the international community so much for the education. It's rather made us not analytical at all, but be able to follow rules. So when you take a Ghanaian anywhere in the world, they will excel because they can follow the rules. But when it comes to our own problems in Ghana, they have no idea because they don't even know their culture. They don't even know the problems. And what's the fault? They don't even know the promises of our communities.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, we have a very, very good, solid knowledge base based on our culture. We understand the ecosystem far better than these white people do. And a lot of our educated people do not even understand, how it is to preserve, the ecosystem. You go to Accra, even Accra is getting so hot. Why? Because they don't know that they have to reserve some forest or some trees, because that is how we exchange breathing, with all carbon dioxide and oxygen. It is all a mess. And these people think that they know, they believe because the white man has told them that they know, so and they can work with the white man, so they think they know. But there's a big disconnect between our leadership, and the Constitution said that if you're a leader, you've got to be schooled in the Western tradition, and this is one of the biggest mistakes. And then the basic issue, when we say Aban, which is government now, traditionally, Aban means a prison, a garrison. You know what I'm saying? And so Ghanaians do not believe in Aban. And Aban creates, instead of a community cohesiveness, and togetherness, it creates individuality and selfishness.
That's right.
Okay? But we have a system called Oman. And Oman, most Ghanaians will die for Oman before they even try to cheat the Oman or the people. If you don't have that basic ethos, you're not fit to lead Ghana. Point blank.
Very good.
You don't understand, it is so sad that we have everything and yet we have nothing because we forget about that and they are leading us astray, and they don't know what we have. They don't know our heritage, they don't know our history, they don't know our culture, and it's very sad.
Very good.
Okay. So, but one thing that is very clearly said, we cannot continue with this constitution.
Very good.
We just have to get rid of it.
That's right.
It is a bane on us. It is a weight, unnecessary weight on us carrying, and it's stifling all our resources out. And they give petty bribes to our leaders, and they are happy.
Okay.
They're happy.
Already. So I'm going to move on to your brother Ken, and then I'll go back to Kofi Koranteng with the next question. I will ask that we make it a bit shorter, point form, so we can move on. So we can and then listen. Kofi Koranteng person worry or baby. So and then is the Ghana. You need to be very pay attention. Yes, sir. Or the Obano quad that's it. Ekufuado befa maybe Ghana. Say ye who baby or mo. Your country should be treated as someone you are going to have a lifetime partner. Like you, this is your life. And now pay attention to what these leaders are saying, because they are the same people who tomorrow you are going to see, and then you will be asking them questions. Pay attention, because yes, sir, Kofi Koranteng the Obano kwa untimi ko bisa na hwebium. And then yakasa Ekufuado sesen or see a she bon yenye. Because today, if you are here and you think, pay attention. So you can, this is what the Americans are doing. Every Black American is on the social media, not insulting. They are rather tackling an issue. They are rather tackling an issue. Okay, so let us be critical thinkers when we touch on a certain issues and be mindful of the people we live around with. So, Papa Ken, what do you think about everything that has been said? Any constitution in here. Constitution, you don't blame anybody. When they were drawing the constitution, the same Ghana for year MPP for say Inti if one inform on constitution na ye draw ye no eno na ye barrier say omo do constitution because it's going for them. But can I say obroni no sometimes no obroni no and a person working man say see we are brofo. What do you think, young brother Ken?
Yo, Lady May, Edika, Misa Achia will be Midawasi, and Asema Wabusa. Na Asema no, Nikasi Yenina, no, Ekoma Yenina Ghana for, especially Yeni Ewa country. Adintra, Mr. Koranteng, Eka Asembi, Se Utiya, was he say, Enipa, Uma, accommodate a dinner, ni way of thinking, no, and yeduma and function. Enuti no se me no as a hustler no me free Ghana na come de me free ho no a me ha se enya aduane die no me come animu no madwene asesa se me de compare sorry to use omo Ghana menti ase no come anim esene womo a omo fie omo nya aduane ni ana ni nyina so no yen Ghana for ye enipa sorry to you say ye nwene enkwa achiri say ye nwene ekwa achiri a yen fa ne say uduru Cape Coast Alumina Castle ho no a ewo ho no eye ade a obi ene ede ebe ha yen enu twamu a temu a ye friend say Donald Trump ba ye no we see where the be say Africa is a shit hole. Ebeye media obi akasa bi obi akasa sare tun akasa enra me send you video bi abrofo no etrance hunu say Africa yen no ye ahiafo even international yen contribute tieni yo enuti no wo mo de yare ene niema asisie ene niema na ebreye fine na so yen so a ye hunu sa ade no yetimi etkoso etnase say yemma obi ensisi ye if you say Ghana ni na far from efa Libya and ekwan beda ho because Ghana passport embassy na o Africa no ukọ no so ukọ visa e dia ba abanone a o ma visa eniti wo Ghana ni no ofa from ada so obewuo ana say nyame wadom a wotime akoduru baabi na so ni nyina achi no wobedu akwantuo mu no yenhwe amamu a omubu no man mu no so Ghana for ehuni sa yehunu ba yenye ho hwe because enam say ye ni e comedy yen eti Ghana ni bia no a wo pese e kanko anase wo pese so call say wo pese bibi afri anase yedie bi emra Ghana no oyobi a wo pe na no aduane wo pe na fu odwene ononko ane ho enunti no ama sa dom no ana abedi yeso so many years but womu no a womu wadwene no hunu say broni anase nipa bi ensa ede ekata oso no ye ni saafo no ana eno so mpo no ebrei mpo no even no say ka media anase de bisa Koranteng kan ye no say Ghana fo nyina be hunu say ye ni ankasa de benya aduane adi na enyo obi na edi aduane be ma ye ne a me fi say danka ye betumi adwene efi say ye hwe Ghana ensuo de da ye ho ensuo de da kro omanum ensuo no kokwa na ebia yete hwa na abrofo yi aye wewe na omaba so won betu boho amaye even baby mpo a omo betu ho boho no enete a ho no won fa de ko na ne nyina achi no oman no ntimi ntena se na ye nim se boho kura se ne yetu na obi betu bie no empo ene metimi oman no mempe machines na mentutu bi ema kromafo ye ni ho adwene ama oman no mufo so esom saafo no so adentra enti media me hunu se timamufo Ghana fo yene na yatena ho ayenhwe han yene na yatena ho ama friends Donald Trump can say Africa a shit hole African so e be a shit hole because one na odi yeso no yehwe se Ghana ayaresa bia ni ho odi uso no so yare a up to ne ma omo 21 years no omo nyina fa play and as a private jet na oba ko hwe mo yare na wo ti omanum nas ye MPP ni NDC ene niema ehun hia enti no so Ghana foi me ma sem bunisa de say de ye nua Brako bo enwum bi which is way back events 70 as I say na o ka ensem a efa ye nuanom ye sorry na ye ne ye ho eni kwase ye ma akromfo edi ye so enti no say ana ye hunu say oman no ye betimi ade ye ho ye betimi anya obi a odwene obi a ye nto no obi a ye nua no obi a ono so no wa hunu say abrofo anase nipa bi ensa edi ye so na emom no ye ni ankasa no ye hunu say oyaw eya ye mpenifo ka bi say ye di yaw na anya wo ya ye nyaw fa ye abrofo say ayi esenka yen ananke yen no ye ya abrofo saa ananke ye wo Cape Coast dan esi ho nanka eno ananka wo mo beji nanka Ghana ni bia no ewo ID card a kire say me nana abrofo no ebeku no anka ni kwase ke ye ko mo kwase ke ye kwaje besia wo mo na so ko mo tua ye ka ewo o mo bone o bedi ye so eni nyina achi no ye sa atena ho na o mo fidi ye ana me sa ka say wo mo so sa atena se kia ye say ye no ye contribute to international but ye diamond ye gold ni ye goodie ni nyina so no eye o mo dia na so enti ye wo adwene se waade a mesika wo wiase no ono be fa kɔ ano no sa atena sika say mo ye hiafo mo nwere na mo no mo ye se ya we feel say eye bre ma ye nyina no say ye be ma ye ni abre na yakon ade ye ho
nyame nhyira wo papa nyame nhyira wo pa ena de no krani this is the platform who of ahudie to say anything, do anything, air it out, because you see, when you sit around shit for too long, you start to stink like one. So Ghana for, you know what? Say fire, and then you become like the victim, and then you tend to make others victims. And then I am Kofi Koranteng or say when you are hungry, the religion is so managed in this part of the world. It's not an issue. Religion is not an issue. Yeah, sorry, then you see here. A nice booty one, Susie and Chen. Ukwaya wants to own the Shinkai, dear Siho. Ukwa owns a Protestant for Susi, China for sorry, nobody's fighting anybody. Everybody is solving a certain social issues through their religious belief because there's a law. There's a law. When you go, then we have a hierarchy of something that binds and governs and it makes sure say we are all paying and we are all under the control, and we make sure say internet way dear boha way about Ghana can be wedged between China and Uganda or some other countries, and they are not fighting. But we say religion. Young Papa Kofi Koranteng, I like it because or saying when you are hungrier, you find every reason. You don't think. And when you're not thinking, what do I need now? Commando now we shall once and then on the bano. Everybody is one sunny. Everybody. So some Ghanaians thinks Ghana is jungle and the world is jungle because you were raised based on junglity way. So Papa Kofi Koranteng, I like your submission. Everybody are so good. Odike, you know Ghana. My problem is, first of all, first thing you're going to tackle. What do you think you're going to tackle when somebody step a foot? Because we spoke about culture. Me, I don't see Ghana. Ghana no. Me free Ghana over 30 something years in me. So I'm not a Ghanaian. You understand me? You feel me? Me Ghanaian. Me tekasa me pekasa antina me country. And I speak tree and I love languages because this part of the world yet to be you. You are raised to be you. That's the only way you can be functional in a group and not destroy a group. Ghana will destroy a group because individually we are not individuals. What do you think someone will see? Because we are not Ghanaians. Ghana on the street, we don't reflect, the street of Ghana don't reflect Ghana. We are good people. Look at everybody speaking here. You are speaking logical. You are very critical about what you're saying. Ghanani among Aburofu, Ghanani is a hard worker. We are everything exceptional. To tell you the truth, Ghana for year, we function well somewhere outside. You know, Odike said, when you place a Ghanaian in a different country, they do well. What would you see as if I vote for you? What would I see in Ghana when I step a foot in Ghana? What would tell me this is Ghana? Obiba, would they be speaking my language? Would they be seeing my culture as a Ghanaian? What do you think you would change the first thing you go in Ghana in office? Papa Kofi Koranteng.
All right. Thanks, Lady May. The first thing you better tackle, you better council. I start here put towards to Attorney General of course changing constitution, because constitution what my first one be bro. So inti was nyoma bi so a ye beka ye say na ye nia panyi Odike any Brako nso aka no. One of the things the constitution lacks, because the constitution here foreign inti, it really did not have an insertion of yen culture in the constitution. BBA in your constitution highlighted yen culture in terms of governance. Inti as I said, ye di and shame near my reverence to your culture. Now my traditions, and so a permeate just a show up in your constitution near the year Juma. And you may be constitution and yet overnight process. What the layers it has to go through in parliament near year. A 9-month process on average. Because of, as I said, gazette and not quite 6 months. And sana, it goes to parliament for a first reading, it goes to EC, they prepare. Into that process in a check. Into 9 months. But while that is happening, one of the first things that said, we have to cut down government. Government is too huge. And also, there is so much money. So $3 billion IMF IMF. You bet me just by repositioning priorities our government, you bet me save more than 3 billion off the cuff, without a doubt. You hear 123 ministers. You hear 123 ministers. 20 ministers can do it. You hear 270.
You will cut down on costs.
Oh, without a doubt.
And then you will
hear 207. You hear 275 parliamentarians. You hear only 20. You say dear friend, a national your friend saying development planner. National development planner is what's going to guide the country. Yeah, national development plan for the next 20, 30, 50 years. Then we will do away with their friend of manifestos now. Political parties needed ban. Senior man Odike can say union government. We nye BBI Babeka say we Kofi Koranteng or the national ba we so the national ba. We have to involve the whole country, especially Yahimfo, no more so. And the first people are we're going to put traditional leaders on payroll, because we have to get them involved if we're going to till the land and use the land. Now we need their involvement in also managing and administrating sector. They ever call local government, but in terms of say one more presiding over one more ex-official members on bodies at the local level, said one more bema reverence, any respect in governance, any order, as I said, your more place in the local government. So very important. Involvement in your politics, your governance, say one would discard, one more corrupt into we should involve them. But because of say, I'm not justifying it. Don't get me wrong, say I'm not making a case for one more corruption. But the American say, if you involve a handful and you involve them the right way, and you hold them to account now, they will perform. So, that's exactly what we're going to do. But cut down on government and then put the monies into agriculture. Be a non-essential in terms of projects. As I say, jai for now. Near focusing on building income, building wealth for the country. So the commerce will begin again, and Kofor will start transacting business and living their lives. And no penny between elevate the country. Ghana now will do airport. You will know right from fact that Kofi Koranteng is a president because of law and order. Law and order will work. So, police for your friend saying Sika, even though the president is not going to be the one appointing an IGP, it would be a private, your friend saying, a public service commission. Public service commission will be responsible for appointing an IGP, an electoral commissioner, an AG, all Sanya many man. It would be public service commission. The president will be stripped of power, sir. Emma will be to say a kufuado oba na oputumi misuse powers not the yet a new man. Or best stripper, sir, your best stripper, sir, exemptions nina every presidency. But law and order will work. The youth will be put to work. So we will abolish ex gratia and Article 71. We will shrink government, size of government, abolish regional ministers. A thing will be a thing of the past. Be a passion to me will be to say Kayayi on the first day. There will be no Kayayis in Ghana. So I just want everybody to know it's a passion of mine that I'm working on right now, because I don't think that Ubia Kola wedi 10, 12, 15-year-old should be set also Nyoma or Malata and anywhere in Ghana, because a Juma in Niho in their respective baby almost ever north any other places want to Ghana no. A Juma in Nihonti na Yama Wamo a migrate aba business district a one crying Kumasi inti Adena Yama Wamo to say the woman ya America no Yama will be to say work. Women, infants, and children. Yema almost some stipend be to give them a basic livelihood. Which me upkeep till set one more parents no benya in Yuma aye. Inti says he can't edit to talk 4x4 SUVs. Emma V8 ma na when we shrink ministries to 20 from 123 now. We have surplus money. So any one more expenses we can put into and pay them a certain amount to upkeep them. Some basics be now. Meanwhile, no, position one more into farms and other handicrafts. I bet me ama one more a livelihood. Woman side you may be bet me woman side you
Okay, thank you. And you say you will get rid of Kaya. Constitution doesn't need. But the constitution, for you to change constitution, don't you need both sides at 1/3 of course you can enforce it, you can talk about it. I mean, Donald Trump was impeached, but he was not removed from an office. When it comes to constitution, for you to change a constitution, don't you need both parties? And what is your strategy in terms of changing a constitution? Does it come easily? Because right now the people need constitution to be changed. You are outside. Don't you think if it's easy, why wouldn't we been able to change it right now when people are more stronger than the government? You
need an executive body to start the process. Okay. So what happens is that Lady May, there are two pathways to change at the parliament level. Brako an entrenched pathway. Entrenched nature say positions be a woman or constitution no ma one be key atum say won't mean changing it at the on the floors of parliament. As I said, we are through a referendum. And on a entrenched position. And what pathway so we be changing your on the floor of the parliament, and then you're unentrenched. The constitution, changing the constitution here, entrenched into, as I said, we are through a referendum. Into the council of the executive, will tell AG say on started process, and now AG best started process by informing Parliament, and Parliament, of course, they will inform the your friend saying. Your friend saying House of one more the core parliament it goes to the state National House of elders. It goes to the elders, and the elders look it over for 30 days, and it goes to Parliament again, and it's gazetted. The gazetting, will take 6 months. And so when it comes back, it goes to Parliament. Parliament does the reading on it before it goes to Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission prepares for the referendum. And the referendum, once it's done, it's 40% of everybody on the election register. 40% of those on the election register, and it has to be 75% of those 40% of the election register should vote in favor of the referendum before it comes back to Parliament and it becomes law. So it takes 6 to 9 months, close to 9 months before that happens. You require a majority or minority in Parliament. It goes to the people of Ghana who have voted you to become the president. If the same people who vote you to become a president is who you are presenting a referendum to now, it's almost impossible to think that they will say no to you if you have done it the right way.
But can Ghana do referendum? Because the constitution doesn't allow Ghana to do referendum. I'll move on that to Papa Odike. What do you think about Ghana moving forward? You've said so much. Now, in terms of constitution, we've seen constitution. Do you think from where the constitution is? I mean, America has so many suggestions. They've gone to court. How many amendments was even accepted? Not too much. When you talk about the amount of times people have been to court to change a constitution, do you think Ghana moving forward? How easy does it look for Ghanaians to change constitution? And also, where will your position be? And what will your power be? I would ask you what the white woman asked Sir John. Was it Oforiata Papano? Nenanano. You see, when they brought the white man to, it looks like every time black man is moving forward, now the own actually goes and sell them out. Where would you be in government to hold the power for constitutional change?
The sovereignty of Ghana lies in the people. Now, I am proposing union government for Ghana, and every member church union government because discussion every about mefrel na ya 1-on-1 na me the union government modus of operandi say the see adwuma me brain child me na matrans na me develop a concept, a system of governance well tailored to suit Ghana and Africa. Africa have one constitution. Got all the continent of Africa. The person who toying na yetimi who free the shackles of neo-colonialism. I just say one constitution, but if you fail to plan, whatever you plan fails. And what do you see then? You see, what do you see skyscraper and see a Notre Dame and not your foundation. So when the foundation is weak, the other building was to get and Ghana, your foundation is weak because every 1992 ABC neck, I want to us from Kwani and Abrabobia Obon say, you have to take stock of your life. We don't need a white man to come and tell us, when am we home? That's why we are rational. But the constitution, I can say, constitution, and Yama 1 year woman, Putia Adasa, Ghana for a benefitia of MPP and this impediment. Say, that's Obama MPP. Or Nimpedin phoning one form, woman take every every friend saying public office, and now the supporters of MDs, MPP, almost say ya school feeding, toilet will be MPP in a town or Digiscano, make up Pamela Cotton. It's your constitution, is selfish, and the constitution was built on a selfish premises.
Yes.
There don't run only Chicatarum. I'm not for the show much more. Yes, it is selfishness, a bow and at the interest of the nation that must override any other interest. I shrink it. Patriotism in Obium. And so what you're gonna Quabra, a dark robe, yes, you was me, see me name a man, or you know, beyond a man said, constitution agreement, the constitution understands people's lives. Constitution amount at American way, the idea to form from the set. The system is ordering your activity.
Yes.
And union government is a system running administration. Union government, it is a system running administration. It has no respect for anybody.
No. Yeah.
It is a word group to boot. Now, just all this woman sana webie. And him say we are Brako, and him say we could be Koranteng. If you don't slot, you can't go. Africa, we need a system running mechanism. And yeah, human interface. No. Yes, Kofi Koranteng ba obeboy. No. Leaders work on a system. Leaders work on a system. So we need a gallant man who can create a system. And yeah, discriminatory. Bringing all talents together. It is under union government, your think tanks is an institution. It will be a white be a woman gonna be a one the woman of cumulative policies, sectorial, agri policies, trade policies, one policies. It will a president crown out all the
That's right.
It is a data for you now. Nobody have to do technology, the more formulative policies. And the union government, a non-partisan, union government frowns on partisan involvement in democracy. MPBI here for Obama. Oba as independent or the Fian San Everboa.
That's right.
They also say, Obedua or the party have been it was a parliament, the very big parliamentary system. Unya could do parliament, one for Unya San and decided to be more. Or your party for back say, yeah, call. And what I was for call. It will fear us and what they are for. Debbie, constitution for the Obama, you must serve the interest of your constituents by a constitution way. And near my body, anywhere, they are working for their interest as against national interest. It is union government from the book. A bottom-up approach system of governance. It is power not conform more. And the union government president will appoint only 7 ministers. They are kind of institutional. Other than I have ministry. Now, young Katie Electoral College, Emma have ministry from far. Woman minister, Emma president on in Yagma. Because so a Kobasa president didn't control over him. And the institutional ethics and professionalism of that institution and will bring it to bear. For example, COVID by Kaskana, Yadebra and Kanya, Ministry of Health. Then the Auditor General can hold them accountable, including the citizens and the workers at the ministry. It is a system failure. And I'm here to baby. It is okay the catch again of what's there. Or by the school nine, or by the head there, Nina bogus.
Bogus.
Say yes, system near a local government based. Could be a autonomous.
That's right.
Could be autonomous. It woman mobilizing resources at the young Puntujuma without recourse even to the national level.
The national, yeah.
And Ghana, that autonomous, no, from the base, assemblymen, they have to be resourced and set them in Chrome. Now your man contract says classroom chamber. Yes, there will be 500,000, 5 billion. About Robert for the work. Chrome of what say because a baby thing crime and also makes it school die. The terms and conditions and specifications of the contract. Come on, your way. Sometimes this is on your way. No, baby, you pay no because a baby thing crime. I was saying your bottom up approach. It is a yes, school down with Macas Cassia. The people are involved. Secure by humanism, they can even use communal labor. I am so broad to say, make us a budget at the best. Now, a master system one. Got a problem in your work. Unyamia from die, men can if you so kake. Now, I want the time union government, you know, bringing all brains together. Formulate a policy. It is that policy, you know. For example, say the core and trend side of the constitution said Ghana, transfer technology background, you know. Minerals, raw materials, you know. Young found core export to abroad, add value. This is our entrance side of the constitution. You know what it means? It means that Abrofo, as you see, I'm before minerals, look at the show. It will cause us to think how the utilization of the abundant wealth now, then we push it to our educational curriculum. Say go, quite before so to go. And you did go to you processing Ghana. And I'm saying, I'm not actually a better for the go here. Yet me export to gold raw. It will cause us to think and utilize all the technologies available to use the raw material gold, you know, to do the finished product. It will be better with Ghana. No about the top GWADis and our Korum. If you then dollars, the baby book. And when I know go school, no, say when educational curriculum, how I do go a year, Juma. Minaba, or real school, or better set on one government in any war because you see, you're planning a new president and some of you, you're planning what the national think tanks, women have formulated policies. You have parliament is a bicameral legislature. Am I for women upper house? Women the custodians of the land.
Yes.
And I'm about for the president, you know, almost here, you go to cry one. I fully control. What is beneath? And you are not engaged in partisan politics. Now, what would you call? I want to we are custodian. Yes, yeah, your man wishes I won't come. Now, I am for ya, I'm not. Nina, ya, quite on so much and go much. So that when we were kicked through the president now, this year, no, come on. No, I bought president, no more to go, no more. I bought a small girl pass out the port. Ghana, you're not being free.
Wow.
Yes, ever cripple all the loopholes. See, and picture to Cornwall. The union government is a new testament for Africa and by extension for Ghana and by extension Africa. I was saying so. I was denying economic freedom. No, I was saying a broken situation. Now I broke your leaders from discretionary powers. Sir, yeah, they are so much. Almost abuse and Ghana paying for or go to the ills in the constitution. No, I can't say a constitutional provision, knowing full well. So they are now but when you're in for because you have to keep your constitution.
Yeah,
I get away with it. Minaba, me say, Obia catch or say, Obetima ba develop Ghana. Wabra ye nyara. yen provoke serious what do we call it? Omamuni na beji twisa. See the constitution young kwaguma. And I was saying ye provoke be na ye call ye educating Ghana for the need. Say never boom said without a constitutional review, no. May be okay. And this will cause public state. I'm a for so say education. Me to radio show every day. I'm educating Ghanaians. And yema am I baby I want because power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's right. Yeah, constitution will be there. Many about be bien with Yamagana. Says away than constitutional review. And yes, Adia, hey, Ubia the Casibia Mamunini, Matanasi. And this in Bedford, they are not ready because the errors in the constitution of woman. First, we are quite any of from your Canana be against Mother Ghana. Sana MPPT and in 1992, around this time, I performed the structural adjustment program. Breno, the pounds card Breno, and ye, Kufo, the hippic, Emma hippic, no, Miniaba, ye can edit Eba zero. Kufo, yes, the team from hippic say, whoa, I know, Koji Euro bond 1 billion. I think that wasn't enough. I don't sign Eddie Vodafone, a Ghana Telecom, or Cotoni, and my changes in Vodafone. All we are processing. Bribe parliamentarians. Listen to me. They bribe parliamentarians to Koto, and I said they coins them. Sir, Omubeja to Mamaya pass. And Yajapa Yaka second thing now, you're very one the Chichabro for easily. It was saying, a more linear discretionary powers. Now, our minds is again near to political party be at the manifesto. Oma Koshebe, be the pattern. And they have Ghana. Ghana now said, General or more. My we are a fool. We are for the audio. Liberal never showed your bed. Debbie, who now assign it the liberal also in the Ghana must have. Is her policies. Ghana must have her policies and her systems.
You have a brilliant idea. I mean, I like somebody who speaks with the notion of, you know, this is what we need. Kofi has a brilliant idea. Why can't we yet discover the fact that by solo you can do a squat? Why can't we all put this brilliancy together and work in unity and bring our ideas together instead of because from 1960 something na way back I'm getting a feedback from somewhere. So why somebody's asking, what is keeping you and Kofi or to go to step into these strong political parties here in Ghana to make that within the party? Because to me, I have to say, so then why don't you go and sort of like, you know, help the other leg instead of saying, why are you going to drag all your resources? Somebody is playing me back. So can we turn off the other device? If you have two devices, please turn it off. Thank you so much. So because if we go to the, I have to say, aren't we going to get much, like, you know, more result than going solo? Aren't we dividing resources?
Can I step in here?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this effort is actually ongoing, and it is very important because one of the big things that this duopoly of the political parties do is that they create small splinter groups that then they manage to bribe or something and then get them to either weaken the opposition party or to get their supporters to come to their party. Okay, but right now we're talking about people who do not believe, a group of people who do not believe that this system works, and therefore there has to be a constitutional change that empowers all our people to move forward in the same direction. It is important that we all get together rather than individual splinter groups that maybe do not have the broad base. So once you're all together, then you can discuss the policies that have merits, and then you can decide on what kind of cabinet or who to push forward as the leadership. Because it's not about, really, in the fatherlands, it's not about who actually becomes the leader, but the system that is operating.
Yes, Ben Medasi. Look, baby, I can't do no. Ubia any young NDC, Kra any young MPP any young, and I would see leadership pronouncements of Mudeba Bonteno. Parliament is blaming Omar. Said they did not act decisively. Parliament, Ghana for Bonnet.
Okay.
Judiciary, Ghana people doesn't have confidence in the judiciary, and Ghanaians are complaining, but we don't have a solution. Ghana for not complaining, but instead for Ghanaians to sit there, baby, where did we go? The narrative. Most people, Omar Koho, and Ahochraba, and Kofi can say himself, to some extent, but Messunum is a Ghana. See, and Yaman Yamedia chair near Bushon, a many petty minute. Because the Jamaicans are already a Kufadu, and then the year poor boy, and we'll see a Baba one. Who should be out to us a young fan. Ghanaians are not hungry enough to be angry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is so true. Papa Kofi, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, let me. Well, no. We actually, Senior Odike, I think he's still speaking in the background. But Senior Odike and I are talking.
Papa Odike, frudia.
I'm saying, Ohangi up no back in view, Ebeya
yeah.
And only the final habitat, Ebes Sagana. But it is a package.
Papa Odike, what take koya kora ko wiem, and I was a koya ko massim in terms of Jokoba.
Or refreshing the system.
Or refreshing the system, no. Thank you.
Yeah, Lady May and say Brako, say Ben Brako. Listen, you're now and at this point, media the only conversation in town now should be said how we come together as a unit.
Yes.
And replace non-performing leaderships of NDC and MPP because they themselves have accepted say woman feel Ghana period. Inti say one more pie say yam former when you woman free ho inti that's what we have to do. Inti the more important thing as I say can say the argument has been made to say these two political parties of NDC and MPP they can't help Ghana. They say, what we need to do, because we have a one-shot kill. They say, the next move I ever make it into 2024, we have to get it right. We can't, if they are going and the way in your friends say, we have to get it right. That's the conversation I hear say, the forces that needs to come together, near share ideas, near who say this they be a step way, yeah, they agree way near day, yeah. When it comes to agriculture, you employ sa and you say system C, you be use our system C near the ISR sector way, yemfa way, yemfa way, and and this is what me say diaspora, one more Ghana for Wabrichi, and Ghana for mainly a Wabrichi because one more access to resource for most of one more Wabrichi unlimited. Now, one more in getting involved, woman taking ownership. Now, yenya sectors a bit formal, say be obi or into agriculture or known in the colleagues, woman form a team, woman specialist for agriculture, woman proposal, obi in finance, woman get it together with woman team, woman proposal. And they say we've broken down our national development planning into 4 major areas: economy, infrastructure, society, and governance. These are the 4 key areas. Master, you say if we get these 4 corners, 4 pillars together of our table here, Ghana is going to stand. Into you develop systems for 4 areas here. So, and you develop a national development plan for the next 20, 30, 40 years because I see a long-term plan. But in the near future, the things that you see, you can't say comma, you can't say a com of the ruling class, you can't a com of Nkrofua. As I say, one more tier, say, as sema to you, as I say, you're doing it differently, One more no, Sister May, you can't force someone to feel the pain. So, no, in feel said the air can Nkrofo wa Ghana Krampa. Woman who says the they don't even want to be bothered. So, but to be because woman to me, woman person woman bothered in yenya woman because woman no baby woman june wono at the level they can't really send an Einstein car, a problem cannot fix itself from the same level of consciousness that it was conceived. One more level of thinking is at the level they can't help themselves. What from a different plane, and you come in and you put the modules together, create standards, develop systems, and you use that and to create models of success. And every sector, the 200 you just follow the models. I follow models, now you get an elevation, and that's how we're going to be able to move Ghana from where it is into where it needs to go. We no one shot kill. DNA say we tweaking master making sure say this shot is going to work. Take pages. Mr. Brako talks about the fact that the civilization we've been what kind Elijah Muhammad book, the destruction of black civilization. It tells you that we've been fed all the wrong things. They say, ama misalign it with your needs as a people, your culture, your BBI. To me, who idea as I said, even though we take pages from Obia, as I say, you identify and who say you're unique. Well, near building a civilization and a year for who say this is the year Babe Faswa, a year unique to us, a be ye amaye, and you'll be our deal into say constitution, yes, as I say, building a new constitution, a year consistent to the people, build a constitution, therefore. But so, this is what we up against. But you hear all the minds to come together to make sure say this time it's not. And you say we're not pursue the president, and also we're pursue the president, but you coming in with a sense of unity and responsibility and pride to serve, stewardship.
Okay.
I would like to also ask, because there's been just so we don't go around in just short way, how what are the provisions? Abrochifo knows a lot. I mean, we've seen other countries started, Malaysia, all those Asian countries. They have they have relationship with the West. Because of selfishness, the relationship was geared towards themselves. How do you guys see building that relationship? Meaning, in Kruma Bay, try in Kofubi Bebe School, but now we're creating opportunity for them or make provisions so they can come back. China did the same thing. Russia did the same thing. All these countries does the same thing. Their children comes, they educate, they go back to their country to implement whatever they came to them. We are not reflective of what Ghana should be. What provisions do you think say, for example, many people are here, they don't want to come back to Ghana. To tell you the truth, they don't actually contribute to the economy as it is. What are some of the measures? Yeah.
Brako Koranteng, may I address here on some of
okay.
There are sprinter parties, mushroom parties. A very important, said the Black Mr. Brako. I once owned a political party. Now the party at the MPP and DC and say, action about side. Either you support the opposition or you support the incumbent. No more financial. To be honest with you and with myself, may almost sponsor me. But if you woman now say, and the Pakra woman they don't want to accept it. And I tell you, and now at the end when I'm saying, me no more to quantaya pie. Me ma kwesiade. There is no way say MPP NDC. No menya father because me hu omu nyamo mo ye nyina. And this is what we are going to use purely against the system. Liu Kuan Yew of Singapore. Singapore is city state. Omo British for the colonizing just like Ghana. But with the right leadership. So say Ghana there here leadership. Obama Ghana interest override any other interest. It is purely Ghana.
Good.
Wouldn't be before be about Ghana.
Mr. Fremena Yan Wasempa.
I better want them. The enterprise about one thing. Me person me print over 10,000 copies. Now me check more be kind be the new system of governance, a democratic system of governance. As you can be what they call election. And there's nothing like me campaign kesiye. Bibi sebian individual. Now Ghana Liu Kuan Yew or develop Liu Kuan Yew and will develop Singapore according to the mindset and the traditions of the people.
Thank you.
Liu Kuan Yew or Singapore are the financial hub for the whole world. One person, vision. But why not consider the Kofi Koranteng, Brako, Sano to train well-meaning Singaporeans. I don't count boom. It's minimum 100%. Say, Yenya say, you get to say independent minded. Me, you tell me people in this call.
Very good. Very good. I'm for so I'm in Ghana. When you lose electricity, when you lose
is it okay now?
It's okay now.
Hello.
So are you okay now?
More to The system now opening your conducive. The abroche for a category and say system is not working. You will be greeted with frustrations.
Yes.
And then and on a few once was no, this thing can't continue. And you know, abroche for so Muru more plain say, yeah, disseminate information to the grassroots, you know. Yes, and Yanka say Bejimusika, but $1 crown ye criti account. You won't have been to me from top petrol. Yeah, Mobia say, yeah, Beje $10,000 and now $20,000, Debbie. Sadian Crown, a corrupt to the mindset of the leaders.
That's right.
But ye pay moi, who credit by the same winning, ye criti accounts $1 now the other $2 now the other. One form of different solidarity groups. South Africa, a black freedom fighters and fight you feel no more diaspora form solidarity groups. It woman I do more support ideas, any logistical support come woman and Desmond Tutu, because yet dismantle MPP and this, you know, and yet better because Oma create a corrupt system, yenya corrupt followers and corrupt leaders. Ghana. Okay. And no matter the country has been polarized. Doctor for me MPP4, who call hospital, doctor for me NDC, who call military or military NDC, military MPP. All the sectors, and they are polarized. In order to bring the attention to the people, say, we need to hit the ground running with all the efforts, any energy it deserves. Now, yet my message in conform. All hands must be on deck. Okay. Where nobody can take this on one shoulders. Won't carry weight on your shoulders. And then when we are able to come together, now will be our concept out where devising. Yeah, so I can it is not the final solution to our problems. A meme version, Kofi one version, if you have one version. Then when we come together now, then you trust me to advise. Kofi, why do we get the shy beboa? Odike do the shy beboa? Then we come up with a refined policy and I say framework. Suitable. Constitution is a living document. Constitution beyond I was a static. Constitution you need to say the one now what it no any. A group or go through certain changes. It is that changes, you know. Ghana had not watch it. JJ Rollins, a baby will say our constitution has outlived its usefulness. Yes. Or not to because so many and you are born now all your constitution has powers in the command president. Our mind in the tree and the cap. No back a system of mine. How do we develop? Eti minaba yade ya kan wa bom dada. Okay. In my mind. I want to say independent mindset, mindful of independent minded people. I am ready and the man here then say, Madam Ghana, Madam Krumbe Bia say academians, any the elites in the society, whom now follow ma, because I am on radio and TV every day and you're propagating message, you know. I started a resonate with the even ordinary people. Me just come na me do traffic mo a me shada e ko sheko na bi kra me be sie be woman. Omom don ton dog chain the next president we need to go to the rural areas.
So more in so more in fear Mrs. Omore in fear mohona yamfa sekan ene we calipone mo bag any oil any ne akeka ho ankoda da Ghana ne said the mu kan say bi Kofi Koranteng kan say or see the hunger is lack of independence and power. and they are not taking ownership. The citizens themselves don't know what they are capable of. So they
constitution ma omuye daydreamers. The constitution the constitution was the architectural structure no was studying here a creative selfishness and some
but citizens, there are so many citizens who has never even read one line of the constitution.
I agree.
Yeah, constitution, they have nothing.
I agree. But the else in the constitution. Yana was say, Yama a catch of phone with about 4 tiers here. No codum format no. Then a bet trigger down. Ama ubiatias here. And one day, I'm not saying it's between one day, but a journey of 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah. Maybe some of a king. This same question I asked, say, as someone who lives à l'étranger, you live outside Ghana, what are some of the things Odike leaders because you new relationship Ghana, the only relationship we have jungle Ghana. Niama Bensana provisions, resources, healthcare, way incentives, no more retire. Madonna Sakura coupon as a senior, you can buy discount. Uko Walmart discount. Upasa offer vacation. There are certain places Ghana for be brainy. Maybe I come about the country. Ghana no. You are losing your discounts. What are some of the things you want? What are some of the things you want Ghana to know? And then my last question, my final question, then we will come back to it to say. And then we'll come back to you. Papa Ken, where do you take us from here? Short, and I mean, miss our next question.
Okay. Say the okay, yene wa country mu. Ghana ni pa in free Ghana into kai abras Ghana manua. Na ohwe oman no mu empanimfo no eye abro. Said the beya wo fa form no matter how free mu na call no. Wonfa yedie Ghana enutino wo up to ye barrier ufro man mu a as a citizen no na wo atwa wasuo ne sa indirect say e be say atwa wasuo if you say ade bia no aye di yedie no as a husband no wondim fa nko man nim wo man Ghana mu no yemfa say tro the taxi a ne nam ho no te say nyame ye wadom na se wo tena bi mu na ukoduru efia somdwene se wo de se kutwa ama wo ho a nyame na wo se oda na se eso man no mpanimfo ehye mra se wo akwantu se kaya wo de ba fie no eni kwa se kaya no eye more than 10 years eni kra de 2023 omo the new law aba se 5 years enti mi bi sam ho se kosi enkosi koda enkoda na 5 years and 10 years car no kra no enye se bia ya na echewo ami almost duty free na wodi akro no sika auto no car no eno ana wodi ebedey ebetua duty no indirect o enti me no me say busa ne say so Mr. Koranteng etimi anase Mr. Odike so omuka bom na omo ebedi oman ne so a saa nhihye no anase saa kwa no edie bey ana beboa ama friends one our country mu no one because a man penny for no Odike ba ni nyina no eba obo promise a country mu for no say oh e be ba friends say meboa mo ama friends habo e bia nema bi mo friends motimi di aba eso no on betra so a na adane ana yesa ko fie so a ade a me pese Mr. Koranteng ebetimi anase Mr. Odike timi kan ema ye hu ne say because ade na ye no ye na yakoyanim na nchirima na se daachi no oman no obi ahu ato no so obi wo Ghana osua ensa no dwuma abusuafo na akopa besia edina akoto adwuma num abusuafo no edina akoto adwuma num no ekwan abofa so a wo bekọ adwuma every day no nobody cares so ebeye day and a nipa no edwuma kosua adwuma only pocket money only sika bi adwuma no o sua no so no adwuma no ra no entua ne ka because ye fi say o sua adwuma in a western world no entisa o sua adwuma no in the process say onya common pocket money a whatever from trotro o de obedie ene ade so entisa aniema no ai ama ye no as a citizen no ye automatic or a hiafo no edi ade ana ebasa or no ever so between the agu akwa mu.
Very good, very good. Papa Odike ena yem Papa Brako mema wo ayewa question me person ko bisa ono ka. You see, we must start from telling them what we want. Me dia me back kire mo. Why? Me ntoma mo. Me kan kire mo nia mepe. Say you want us to have that independence and also that a will of my family's entitlement, you know, to also not be spectators but be citizens. I want to see ye benyini wahano ekromwa Ghana for bread do Ghana ni bra ne kokorabo mu no wa bre hospital for old age for at least everybody over 64 must have an access to a health care. Na se me ba Ghana me wa insurance so I di mechi ba nanso Ghana no at least I'm entitled. What shows I'm a Ghanaian? Because enkofo mu fi Belgium me fa ne say UK honom na o ma betina Canada. Omunyini a Canada honom no to live there is cheaper than to live in Canada. Into retirement pay no ebo mo ko back. They have so many provisions and incentives to old age for medium. I am advocating for myself right now. You guys need to think about that and put in your manifesto. My last question before, if you can add it, are we ready? The way amount of years now NDC MPP for a Jinemuno. Are we ready financially? Are we ready when it comes to resources? Are we ready to go as a second and as a third force? Na Papa Brako, tell them ni opese o retire ekromu ha at least me nya obi bank man korana a PSWB is obligated to come and change my diaper. Obi is obligated to make sure some medication na ya bro mo emro afoi na ya but they are not allowed to touch us. What are we going to put in place? That's what I'm actually asking for, and then we can move on and then come to an end.
Yeah, well, Lady May, let me. Oh, okay. So Brent, you want Brent Brako to go, right?
Yeah, I think that we have to actually start believing in our heritage and our culture, because our system, it has provisions for all these. Only if we can operate, empower it, and make it well. Right now, from colonialism to this time, our traditional system has been weakened to the extent, they have to do all kinds of things just to survive and just to keep the system going. But fortunately, the system is still running, and in fact, in most rural areas, there's no government, there's no courthouse, there's no police station. It's the chieftaincy that rules, and that makes sure things go on. But now they don't believe in themselves. When you go to any rally or some festival, all they are doing is they're asking Abambe way, Abambe way, Abambe way, because they feel that Abba owes them. And it is true too, because Abba, takes away from them and doesn't give back. You understand? And it only redistributes to the elite and to the so-called school people. What is the mindset of Ghanaians? Say, how can an ordinary Ghanaian, for instance, access the ministries? Suppose to say obi what problem be regarding the thing didn't work, and he wants restitution. They have an office in Accra, but if you go there and you address the certain way, they won't even look at you. If you call them on the phone and you can't speak English or their personal language, they won't mind you. You understand? There's a whole rot in the system, but it is because of the lack of pride in who we are. So we don't regard it. We don't see it. We look upon ourselves.
We look down on our own people all the time. Then you are a big fool and you cannot represent your people. So the sense of responsibility, it is such say it has to come from the unmanned aspect, and not just, you can't just make any structure and make it work, because you find say a lot of these things, decentralization, it is all false and it's farcical, like it's been mentioned before. So we have to really look at ourselves properly and take that pride, because all the other cultures that are doing well is because they believe in themselves. When they are home, they are themselves. You take the Chinese, you take the Malaysians, you take the Japanese, you take the Arabs. How can Arabs be able to negotiate good deals for their oil? And when it comes to us, our people give them away. Why?
Yeah.
It's because we don't know who we are. We are lost. And especially the so-called schooled and educated, they can't think to save their lives. I'm telling you. Look, in Ghana, we have traditional architecture, right? And a lot of people live in mud huts. We have all these trained engineers and architects. Why can't they, using materials cheap and available, to even just create a health post in every village? Very simple. Very simple. Just make it more hygienic and something, make it more presentable. That's all. We can't do that. We have a big issue with housing in Ghana. And all this urbanization is because the rural areas are being neglected.
Yeah.
And when they come and do big agriculture, they just want people to come as labor. Our people are not laborers. They are all audition. We have a system called Ebusa that has worked tremendously for us. That's when we're leading the cocoa producers. It was individual farms. It wasn't plantations. You understand? And I have direct experience of this. But we abandon all these things because school tells us that we can't even look at ourselves. We can't even look at ourselves. We're always looking outside.
Yes.
When an Indian goes to study in America, they normally would go back home. Woman, African, and Ghanaian, a position, because although we everything doesn't matter. Things that you can support, people at home and all that. So our pride in ourselves, the way we are prepared to kill ourselves for our own people, for our own heritage, it is not there. We have to re-educate our people in that way. Yes. And the only way we do that is by empowering them directly. They know that they can do things for themselves. There's so much every village could do, but we don't think about it. Oh, we want cement before we can build a health post. How stupid is that? We can build a health post that caters even with traditional medication for the basic health needs of every village.
Yeah.
But we sit down and you have to go and talk even before you can be treated. You have to pay bribe before they will talk to you. What kind of nonsense is that? And we tolerate this and we think that the judiciary is so corrupt, police corrupt, immigration corrupt, customs corrupt. The whole system there, like I said, the ministries, it's all corrupt. Corruption. Even when you're going to get your check, you have to pay bribe before they give you a check.
Even the king is corrupt too. Even the king.
I don't know about that one. If they're corrupt, to what extent?
Yes,
it is not nation damaging, but we are talking about corruption that damages nation, that deprives people of their basic rights, and we look down on them. We look down on them just because they can't speak English. Now artificial intelligence is coming in such a way that all languages can communicate with each other.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how the world? I'm in Canada. And we have all languages, even our IT guys that comes into the school to fix anything I request, anything I ask for, my dear, even at the immigration. I drove someone to the Canada immigration, and the lady sitting there, I think it's a Filipino. I couldn't understand what she was saying, but then she's hired to serve this wide range of people. So there's no discrimination. They've normalized everything. And I thank you very much that you touched on that, because I made it since I started working in a school. I mean, who say, Canada, I started, you see me in my video, share, I'm teaching. They're paying me to teach in this country. That means they want you to be you, for you to be able to.
That's right.
Be productive, basically, and you can be used for that way. Is it the time for this now? Are we ready, Odike, Papa, Kofi? You were going to answer that. Are we ready to march and walk those old folks out of office?
Let me just say this. Let me just say we're absolutely ready. And see, maybe I might do know. As I say, you're ready. So, because you're not ready, or mine after 2024, no, hopefully by 2024, but as I say, we can lose Ghana. I mean, we are on your friends saying stabilize it. They say we share what TV so hospital I can't flatline into serious, but
we are on life support right now.
Oh, major life support. It's critical life support. But Lady May, 9% may can't say me. You see, the diaspora component in building Ghana is so critical and so important. So, you say diaspora for no, if you say development, I hear for Ghana no, you hear no in a rush. You hear say diaspora for now no say you see Ghana year now in a very short period of time. Now there's an exodus. Now diaspora for now, but what we are doing is that we've created a diaspora secretariat. Now what the diaspora secretariat now is doing is that we've looked at all the things that are yet needed by the diaspora for them to be able to come and stay. Most Ghana no 2 weeks no because there's one more Juma, Ibinum can deal with so many other factors. But yep, then yet woman here sempa healthcare big. So healthcare OBS ban one shots now about malaria incidentally the number one killer of Ghanaians living abroad one more Ghana no automobile accidents. If you say most of the automobiles what cars who council no roadworthy and now say acquiring yet inti an infusion of diaspora force with immediate and spontaneous development as I said basic infrastructure to say acquiring major because without connectivity no we cannot have complexity or competencies you're here for growth. So, and Germany told us that until we know. Until you hear Sadia, and more importantly, as you when say, Nioma, Womakosia wa Bruche, Womade Abeboy in Intino. Yen to me, you need the time, Yedebabe developer a Lady May. Lady May has been abroad for more than 30 years. We don't have the time to collapse our time frames, to develop a Lady May. Inti yet conditions favorable for Lady May. And you obey me about inti DNA and you created diaspora secretariat for that. So I'm about the good system numa. The one back also the combustion, economic combustion, absorbs 575 billion cedis of debt. Now infrastructure, as I say, so government lay in terms of network, in terms of roads, in terms of buildings, bridges, ensure keka nipa benom, ensure we say ensure but it so happens say ensure a major factor. We can't even begin to tackle healthcare without even dealing with ensure because ensure waterborne big time an issue Ghana. So inti as I said issue any idea but say issue aka be a best start akra issue inti a big problem Ghana inti sanyoma we necessary digu akwam not the diaspora no eba yenya an exodus no oba then we can comfortably say, now we've started the development. Then we can assign, they could take on development jobs. Your infrastructure, a lot of you, Amumako school, my year, Juma outside, no, move between your band map starting businesses. Now I absorb unemployment, you know, we'll absorb NIPA from the informal sector, back formal sector now. Now they pay taxes, it shows on the grid, and now we're able to take the taxes and put it into more development, and that absorbs more people and creates more wealth. And then we build into a critical part. But now, are we ready? The big question. Of course, we are ready. We are ready because everybody in Ghana, you say, people don't change when they see the light. People change when they feel the heat. Everybody in Ghana now is feeling the heat. Even woman, they're feeling the heat because Esikafono, they make their money from on the layers of society for them to remain at the top of society. Intino, as I said, Wamoboa system, no say the iron, and they are begging, say, Obi Babe take you over because one more conviction and commitment, allegiance to party, you know, will not allow them to now come back and say, in fact, Ghana ye. Until they say, yeah, our fault. But they are begging for us to come. And we need, who does the power belong to? The power is not in the hands of NDC and MPP. Even though, yes, they spend $200-300 million in when it comes to election, no, the people give them the power. Yeah. If the people have come to the realization, say, baby, I do any power no as I say a free NDC ne MPP ho na eko obi foforo ho na womo de beboa na Ghana ye na ye di ye. You see, and this is the unbelievable thing. As I say, ye na ye accept to say ba ye be ni ye no ye ba be ni ye na obi di ye obi ansa akona no obi anyare ye be ya kwan ye be industry nkrofo be ye adwuma ye be build the wealth inti obi abedi ye say a rising tide lifts all boats. Yet the rising tide of the new Ghana. Building a new, totally new Ghana. You change the constitution. You ma emraya juma. You see tokro. Say the accountant general and make and say every year no $3 to $4 billion a year. Comes from above. We want to seal all those holes. Said the end to me Ghana build that. Now you entrench BBI in the constitution. Say. After ye be free hold on near lucky be our constitution must say Ghana and Konechibio, and we will build a foundation set for the next 5 to 10 years. And we'll build a Singapore, we'll build a Dubai, we'll build a Japan, we'll build Germany in Ghana. Now ma edi ye kind of Lady May ye can't oh Ebia Obi Lady May,
the promise is no. What the man can is here.
Listen, I am telling you because it's a math thing. It's mathematics. Bisa who said, do we have the money? If we have the money, not the only thing you need is the leadership or the adrenaline Baye Juma. Ayedena Obi in the UAE on arid land that ain't to me, be to me in 50 or hodl. Where to me I have a state wheat in commercial quantities. Now
because they were together. They are together. Or say, how are you going to convince these Ashantis who are so tight and uptight and the jaws
because they are hurting. They are hurting. Listen, Odike and someone who can say Asante Hineno. A 5 years ago, cranky be charity or Bawahanka Yemisano. And so no. Yeah, because it was timely. Because wako Kumasin and saying wako Abuabun wako and Hotia. The whole Ashanti is garbage. I just left there a couple of months ago. The whole Ashanti, you will not believe how the place is Garden City. BBI a container, BBI a corrugated iron woman there containers and quantities BBI basa.
So, it is so difficult. How do you plan to tell the one who is sitting in a mud, say Papa will try a thing. Say, Sana Ghana for akoye. we are so obi kachiro ba akoso yokurasini unso ti kumase make nipa no so ti koforidua also yokurasini what makes mommy no nyina like
with you
how
yen for so say who change you but obi a ono apene so say ono no pese odi ye no say wo pese wo show say our policy here adwuma you find people that they buy into their whole canon one mu di here
one
neighbors who say hey sir you see the biggest problem with Ghana I'm a development I stifled and they say we don't have anything, we don't have success to point to.
That's right. So that's what somebody is asking or saying I'm saying we have given or say what have you done that you have so brilliant idea. What have they done in their individual corners on the issue that are calculating at this moment? Yeah, it near why, like I had to say, you see, to serve the public, you must have a portfolio. Okay. What is something we can point to say
Lady May, Lady May, now me a group called Ghana, you call Kuma, Ghanaians living abroad, say, and can you bet me a vote to in representation of the People's Amendment Act. Said there, and Ghana for Wabruchri, it me vote to they will pick their own leader. Enye NDC and MPP, and I say NDC and MPP Krampa, they will hold them and commit them to. And your baby say, "Yeah, buy your baby say." Mahama came to Worcester in 2004 and lied to us. Oh no, 2014 and lied to us. Said he was going to do it. He didn't do it. Akufo-Addo came to NYU in New York and lied. Said we should engage the Electoral Commission and it shouldn't be a problem. He didn't do it. So Atamil started with the Constitutional Review Board, which was totally unconstitutional, but even his own council did not even know that it was unconstitutional. And it was shut down by the same parliament. To fend for us, it was shut down by them.
Okay.
So, into the Americans say, I took down a group of people to Ghana, say, yeah, Kostate, your core NDC government, your friends say toll system, so what Ghana, yeah, Koyeno solar system, near Tolu Ghana roads, they took parts of it, used it to their gain. Yeah, the another group called say yeah, revamp a tax system. So they right now, say only about 30% of people who work pay taxes in Ghana. In they have big businesses, they don't pay taxes. And one more multinational companies, one more taxes. No. Guess what? One more tax rebates. How's the country making money to infuse into social systems? They're not. We have to, for us to be able to get tax income, we have to expand the tax net. But you cannot expand the tax net unless you have built, dear friend, an integrated national ID and address system, which means you put people in a national data repository system. If we haven't done, Bahumia, I try so best with the digitization. Did it work? No, it didn't work because as we speaking now, we know, say, 80% of all the people who work in Ghana are still in the micro, small, and medium enterprises, and 90% of those people are still in the informal sector, and they don't pay any taxes in terms of your friend saying income taxes to the government. How can we develop like that? How can we develop? And the rest of the taxes are so heavy, they are indiscriminate taxes. So it hits everybody. Even if you don't make any money, you get hit. And it brings your quality of life down. And you're not able to progress. Because you sign the indiscriminate taxes as smacked down. Like the e-levy, which should never have happened. It was a lazy person's approach to making income. Because e-levy, Bank of Ghana should have had our own system of, your friends saying, commerce. So, and so, lazy government, to me, Momo, a South African company, MTN, Ghana. And all they did was, one more, your friend, a payment aggregator. That's all they do, which is they represent a merchant and a bank, and they are the middle people. That's all they did. And the same MPP government used 25 billion cedis to decimate all our banking systems in their form. So be changing BBR. Where did that money go? 25 billion Ghana cedis.
Disappeared.
And they could have used just 9 billion cedis to reform it and make it better, so that everybody will be able to take part of it. And local businesses, informal sector, banks and credit unions, they could have still survived with their businesses. Now that's a burden on our society. Now we go to IMF to beg. What kind of people think like that? And this is why we know that this government has failed just as much as the previous government failed, because one more in parliament and one more to me, yes, our policies now they are bringing the whole Ghana down. And now they come to us for mercy. How can we give them mercy?
That's right.
How can we give them mercy? We don't have mercy for them, because you knew going into this exactly what you were doing, and you didn't consider it when we told you. Listen, these signs showed 6 years ago, when we had no foreign exchange reserve, when we had no trade surplus, when we had high inflation and high debt. These were all factors which were present 6 years ago. You went into it, and IMF. This is what they were saying to us. And then 6 years into it, you go to IMF, you want us to have mercy on you. No, we're not going to have mercy on you. So this is the kind of leadership that we're dealing with NDC and MPP. And when you say it now, NDC people will come and say, hey, IMF for the 17th time. Really? But if you watch the person take us to IMF, then you are equally a friend saying guilty, because and 6 years ago you did not sound the warning. Say before IMF, and you let these people take us to IMF because you wanted to have a position of power to be able to say MPP has failed. Now give us a chance for us to come in, and we're not going to do that any longer. 16 times is enough, and it's going to be the 17th time. To Lady May, we are positioned, we are ready to take on this, and if a Ghanaian who have seen us go to IMF for 16 times, now the 17 times, who we have had $3 billion in COVID money and squandered it, and we don't know where the money is because we only use 25% of it, cannot come to senses say this is a time to change that. Then we deserve to suffer, because we just have not come to the realization that it's the decisions that we make that's going to give us the freedom. This is where we are.
Kofi, guys, we've touched on a whole lot of. If you have not watched this, please go back and watch it. Once this broadcasting goes to an end, watch it, because it was a very meaty, and it was packed with a lot of things, information. Odike came, spoke to his really with brilliant ideas. Kofi just spoke and touched on a whole lot. We have an issue of tribal bigotries and all those things that has stopped Africa from moving forward. Mestre say, share video no na enko echire ma wunu so nsanka na wa no. Go and watch it over and over, because by the time we realize, yete ya na Akufo-Addo ebe share yebo oni ba umia ebe keka nsem bebre ye hunche. We are even in a worse position than where we were, and that's a fact. Okay, we are in a worse position than where we were before Akufo-Addo came into power. But yet people are saying, no, Akufo-Addo has done, and this is because it's our hate towards each other is very, very core. It's deep. We want Ghana, new Ghana, and it can be through Kofi Koranteng or an Odike or a united front. We want to see a new Ghana, not a new Ghana. We want to reinstate Ghana, because Ghana used to be Ghana. I grew up a bit in Ghana. I knew Ghana before I left. But yet now when you go to Ghana, Ghana does not resemble the Ghana we know. Papa, yem papa, ojina humen so, yem papa. Wabu yembe, wanyema bebrehu through ninyom. Our old musicians were prophetic musicians. They saw just like Lucky Dube, and all these people that came and spoke through music. In America, you saw them on stages. They spoke through comedy. They spoke through all sorts of ways movies and all those things. And Oprah Winfrey did their best, everything. Gave their people the weapon they need, which is education. Yem Papa Ben Brako, wa uni munono. I love the music.
And friends, also Obama na a life. Na Mr. Koranteng a rap for as a new friends. It is a Koranteng. Mr. Brako
Lady May the voice said
I didn't know it was going to be such a long program. And I have to ask permission to leave now.
I'm going to give us your last, and then I say, Obeya Bone. So give us your last winner, Yemfa Enko. Yes, it has been, and I do appreciate your time. I'm sorry. Ghana has such a peculiar problems, which I guess I'm loving this. We have to have it again. In fact, I want to know the book Odike is writing. Seriously, I want to read in part. So, Papa Ben Brako, Ebena Ubu Yenteteno, recap it and let us know how we can wrap this up, and then you can go. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I believe, sir, we actually have everything that we need. You know, only that we can't see it because we've been trained not to look at it. You know, and there was a lady who worked in the UN, and they wanted to bring an irrigation system to Mali, you know, which, you know, is an arid area. And when they came, the people counter suggested their traditional irrigation system. And they said, no. They have to bring irrigation system from outside. They brought all these big machines at expensive cost, and it didn't work. You know, it didn't merit the investment. So, you know, they had to try the traditional system, and it worked perfectly. We have so much. We don't even know. We don't research. We don't do nothing. We just always follow it. Because if you are a follower, you are not an innovator. You know, and that is the thing, that because we don't know who we are, we don't know what our people have left us. We abuse our ancestors. Only fools, you know, dishonor their ancestors. So please, let us look at ourselves, because we have so much. Don't buy into everything, you know, the way we dress, because why? We are spending our money on outsiders. The way we eat. Look, the budget, the Ghanaian budget, the amount that is spent on rice is shocking. And yet it continues. And all the importers are foreigners. You know? I mean, there's a whole system that needs revamping. We need a reset. So for me, that is the message that I have. And I will tell you, sir.
Quick
one.
No. So, please continue talking.
Yeah, I want to end by saying, sir, Wambra, you na say na taso. What say you na konga kasa? It's a new to original girl of the all the sunusra or sarangin. Wamba se menko because if you in the Bibiawo. That's it.
Thank you. Yang Papa Ben Brako, or see eat your food, oh, you see me by a top. Akola Canada ni akola, or see or peto, Munsha Canada body, Munsha the way Jin who are the someone, but what to Ghana always sausage. Look at this body. Wow, the way body, no, actually, man, in some more.
Jimmy Doss, who share Ghana TV? Who much is I can say that are we in Ghana, or I mean, we're trying to copy these people? Why?
Ghana?
Don't believe in ourselves.
Mindset.
It's crazy. Yes, it's stupid. It's stupid. You know, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's very dumb. And then we take a lot of pride in that. You know, your national anthem is in English, and it's even a foreign tune, and you are so happy about it. Say that shows your independence. There's something wrong, very wrong. So we have to think again. You know, it's not just a question of redressing things. You know, it's not a facade. You know, we've had enough of that. Let's be real.
Thank you very much. I would love to hear more from you, but Em said, "Obey nyumba kwa family bo nyum na ye na a jingle for my page." Thank you again.
Why not? Why not? I'll do that for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Brako, each request that or not, yes, request that boo. No, or that the end account.
You see Africa,
mama.
On trend there, maybe then happen.
Lady May. Ben Brako is a man full of surprises, and he's into Oyama or to my Yama so. Oh, me no feel. It's an Bani F. How of fair.
And that is a me feel call me no nan. Then you buy Bill Mini. Oh, come on.
Anyway, let's keep the communications open, yeah? Okay. And thank you very much for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Papa Kofi, can you give us the last word? And then your brother Ken.
Listen, Lady May, that's it. You're the tier for one more marine, you're that Ubiase. Not yeah, percent, can now Ubia Tiasia, ye say, I'm say, change ye hiano, transformation ye hiano, Femuna, Gina, ye Nianoma, one more diaspora. So, and I say that because woman be whom a different way of life. You bet me a blend the Yankasi, ye be yes, brofo, and now Ubia, but ye per se, you taking the best of different civilizations. Now you're capitalizing with your culture, any ye dear. Now your brandy be unique for Ghana. But Ghana for pet a war abruchly. And with the exposure, no, one will bet me abwa where you the fuel for the PCA. Inti one more in take ownership in the process. Now ye war Azoye, Yashisha Bibia to her. In your diaspora and a secretariat, it's with the diaspora in mind. Now, one country was your François a Wagan. No woman who said, come 2024, Kofi Koranteng. Now, we're talking with Odike, so the chances are Odike is a brilliant gentleman, and we are going to work with him. But Kofi Koranteng 2024, without a doubt, we have to make this change. Lady May, it's important. Say, 059 999 5120. 059 999 5120. And I said, kofikoranteng.com/donate. Baby,
to donate, do you mind
okay, so to donate to our Momo, it's 059 999 5120. 059 999 5120. That's to our Momo. Or you can always go to kofikoranteng.com/donate. kofikoranteng.com/donate. And all over the world, you can help us through that medium.
Okay.
Yeda must say, take ownership. Monfa idea semra. Ubia bibia wo Ghana opesa de boano. Trey nafa boy. Because they say grassroots you may ye afford to also commit to Nioma. Say be our friend now say Kofi. Yeah, but you talk 1,000 t-shirts now. If I see a talk 1,000 flyers and billboards, your sponsor will billboards for Western region, Eastern region, or billboards budgets and a Fabra your group be a sponsor and also ewo. One way near Ninkuni because they say Ghana for person mu yen keke na womoto abamaye. Until Lady May, thank you for allowing us and for Kennedy, yeah, say yes, our arrangement team, yeah, but the one and only the undisputed talk show host of the airwaves from Canada to the rest of the world, Lady May. There's no other. Lady May, Sani Oshuwaku Baba in Canada, Tomo next month,
Nakai.
All over the planet.
That would be so nice. I can Baba be because it's a work with face to face. Details. Okay, that would be nice.
Kennedy, that's it. Any time, dear Lady May, you are open to a conversation. It was beautiful sitting with you, and to all your listeners, thank you so much for the opportunity. To all the brothers and sisters in the diaspora, thank you for helping us. And to our brothers and sisters in Ghana, this is our moment. Do not relent. We have one shot, 2024. We have got to make history. Let's seize it. Let's seize it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Lady May, if I have your permission, I shall exit. Unless, of course, I have to wait for Kennedy to make his last submission.
Okay. So, Mr. Ken, who will be the last one?
Okay, real quick. The American nyina say, the kasa na yekan ni nyina no e kire say o man na pro. Enti no, ihia ensesa. Ensesa no Ghana for enso timamufo no enim ade e fe ne say ensesa. Enti no e wo se omo hya ase na omo hunu say enema achia, enema enkoyie. Enti no ewo se eja bi edere wo mo so na omuhunu se ebre yi mu no ene bra ye pre yeti anase ye pre na efense ye didi efense ye chiri mu enti no se ye nyina no ye be sori, especially se the mesa kan bi mu no ye ne ye wa country mu no ye no de ye hunu no eye better than omo fie na se ye ni so ade no ehunu edoso. Ana yenso a yewo akwantu mu no yewo anuanom ne abusua ewo ye friend say omanum eniti no say ye ne atimi ka de ye hunu e kire wo mu a mfi say ebema adwuma no anasa ensesa no a Mr. Koranteng etu ho anamo no ebeye emre ama ye nyina eti no yensom na yemfa ensesa emra na enye ye ema ye nyina medamase eno obi biara.
Yeah, I thank you all, guys. If you have not shared the video, please do so. Somebody is really waiting to hear this conversation, and it's going to depend on you for them to hear. Afena Oba, please go back to the beginning and start to listen to everything Mr. Odike and Kofi Koranteng, as well as our own uncle Ben Brako. I've had the privilege to meet strong 4 men today. Gosh, I think it is a privilege, and I'm honored to have you all here. If you don't know, this is towards the presidency 2024. There must be a change in Ghana. Listen, I don't care, but whatever is going on, say the president, ama ejumana ihu. Ghanaians are so hungry. Say anomu mfa ho ni oba akoko krabum nkoko bom bang say akoko bom na because of the need, so much need in Ghana. No, we are following akoko. Many of the youth are going to be lost because in koko any peteku esikurum say Ghana. So if you've heard everything Kofi Koranteng and Odike is saying, and you feel so this is going to be a change for you, please do so. Now follow Omo, donate. The number is there. Donate towards the cause. It's a good cause. I'm sure say when you go to Ghana, you are going to feel like a Ghanaian, and you're not going to maybe come back into this cold again. I think you're Miss Boku and Madam Wanyina was okay. and me krobo no krasa nyachum nyefiano no fiano ne ba ye wo mono inga nyefien no fiano ne esane ogba video hu ne onyimi ko hu enine esuno. For those microbo girls and microbo guys here, please share the video. Okay, ciao, bye bye.
Bye everybody.
Bye Kofi. We'll talk again. Bye Ken.
Yeah.